Good afternoon, students. So, as your half-yearly syllabus is already being completed, so today we are going to start with revision and the very important chapter. One of the very important chapter in this half-yearly exam is this chapter, that is food, nutrition, health, and fitness. So we are going to revise this chapter and not only on your NCERT book but also your board book. We are going to follow through that also. Okay, so today we are going to discuss some facts on this chapter. Also, coming on to this chapter, the first two things which are very important to read about is what we know about food. What is this food? The thing the food is, and what are the nutrients? What are the nutrients and what are the different water soluble vitamins, water soluble and fat soluble vitamins? What are these and the different classifications of food? So food, as we can get here, is that foods are those solid or liquid substances which after consumption are digested, absorbed, and then used for different functions of the body. So this is the very basic definition of the food, and if you have to write these words, otherwise the answer will not be correct, because there are other sources from of this answer, but those are not correct. Now, foods are considered as the solid or liquid substances which after consumption are digested, absorbed, and then used for different functions of the body. So what do you mean by this? So first of all, whatever we eat is our food. So when we eat those foods, so first of all it is digested, and after digestion is completed, then those nutrients which are present on the food, those are absorbed by our body, and then those are utilized and then excreted. So this is what the basic definition of the food tells us. Now, food is not only to be consumed, digested or absorbed, but should also be useful for the functioning of the body. Example, tea without sugar and milk is not a food because it is of no use to the body. Now, classification of the food. So food can be categorized into two classes, as we can see here, which are as follows. Number one is the food on the basis of the nutrients present in the food. So food can also be classified according to the nutrients which are present on the food, and on the basis of the physiological functions. What physiological functions does the different kinds of foods plays, though according to that also the foods are being classified, and on the basis of the nutrients present in the food. Now, first of all, we should know that what are the nutrients. So what are the nutrients? You all know the nutrients are the small chemical components of food that are needed by the body in adequate amount in order to grow, reproduce, and lead a normal healthy life. So the nutrients are the main thing. Those are present inside the food which we utilize, which our body utilizes, which are the main factor for the growth and development of our body. So now, nutrients provide nutrition to the body as such or after digestion. So all these have a definite role and are obtained from different food products. So there are several nutrients which we get in our different foods, and those specific nutrients play the different vital roles for our body. And now in this picture you can see that first of all the food is classified on the basis of the nutrients present in the food. So we can see that the different nutrients which encircles the nutrients are the carbohydrate, protein, fats, minerals, vitamins, and water. So these are the nutrients which are present in all foods. Not in all foods, but the different nutrients are present in the specific food. So now the vitamins include several vitamins like A, B, C, D, E, K. Okay, and B complex is there are also a lot of vitamins under this B complex vitamin, and the several minerals are also there like calcium, phosphorus, iodine, iron. So these are the very important minerals which are there in your syllabus. Okay, there are also several minerals present, but these are very important which are included in your syllabus. So now the nutrients can be classified into micronutrients and macronutrients. So what are these micro and macronutrients? The nutrients that are required by human in small quantities throughout life are called the micronutrients. So micronutrients are the nutrients which are needed by our body in very less amount. And what are macronutrients? Just opposite of these micronutrients. The nutrients required in large amount in the diet of humans throughout life are known as the micronutrients. So macronutrients are the very important, essential, and those are required in large amount through our diet. Now, what are these macronutrients? Who are these macronutrients? So the macronutrients are the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and water. So these are required in huge amount for our body. And the micronutrients includes the different vitamins and also the minerals. Most food contains more than one nutrient, such as milk has all the nutrients except vitamin C and iron. So the most food contains more than one nutrient. So suppose a definite food, it can also contain more than two or more than one this vitamins or the nutrients. Now those include such as milk has the nutrients except vitamin C and iron. So vitamin C and iron are not present in this milk. Now on the basis of the physiological function, so now we have gone through that classification of the food on the basis of the nutrients, but now we are going to learn that the classification on the basis of the different functions of the nutrients. So what are the role of these nutrients? So now the classification that comes under this on the basis of the functions are, you can see the different nutrients, they have a specific role. So number one, you can see that energy giving nutrients. So these are the nutrients which gives us energy. So by eating the different foods which contains these specific nutrients, we can have our energy. So the energy giving nutrients are the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So these three specific nutrients are the major energy giving nutrients. Now the second one is the bodybuilding nutrients. So these nutrients are the specific nutrients needed for the bodybuilding purposes, which includes the protein, minerals, and water. And the third one is the protective nutrients. So these nutrients protects us from various diseases and also infection or any other kind of hurts or any kinds of cuts. So these protective nutrients are the proteins, minerals, and vitamins. So suppose you have got any kind of diseases or any fever or whatever, so these nutrients are then needed in order to get rid of the disease or the infection. Now the regulatory nutrients. So what are these regulatory nutrients? Regulatory nutrients are those nutrients which regulates your electrolytic balance or the fluid balance in your body. So these includes the minerals, vitamins, and water. So these three nutrients, they are needed for your regulatory functions. So as we have covered all the nutrients and their specific role, so these are the different classifications of the nutrients on the basis of the functions. Okay. Another important thing that the nutrition is what is this nutrition is all about. So you have already read this in your first chapter, or I have explained you the very first day when we started with our lessons. So again I am describing this, that nutrition, suppose the question comes that what do you mean by nutrition? What do you understand by the term nutrition? So now nutrition is the branch of science, it is a branch of science which deals with the nutritional process in the body that includes consumption, digestion, absorption, and assimilation of the food. So these are the different processes of the food which takes place in our body, and the branch of science which teaches you or makes you understand that these whole terms is the nutrition. So thus nutrition is the thing which can be described in the following table. Like it is the ingestion of the foods, and then the food which we ingest or we take or we consume, then those foods are digested, and after digestion takes place comes the absorption. That is, the body, it absorbs the different nutrients from those foods that we consume, and rest of the food is excreted. And then comes the utilization. The major part of this whole process is utilization. How your body is utilizing the nutrients which have been absorbed, okay. So now if these things are done properly, that is ingestion, from ingestion to utilization, if this whole process is done properly, then you are going to have a healthy body with all healthy functions, physiological functions. So now nutrition is utilizing of essential nutrients required by the body for different activities. Now comes the types of nutrition. Now nutrition has got several types, like good nutrition and malnutrition. Good nutrition means you are having your food properly, and malnutrition means that you are not having your food properly, or rather you are not getting your food, and which could lead to, or there can be also that you are having, since having more food, you are consuming more than what you require. So that also leads to another term, that is what we call overnutrition. And if we don't get food and we don't consume food, that is what we call undernutrition. That is a part of this malnutrition. Now good nutrition, what is this? Good nutrition is the state in which a person gets all the nutrients in correct amount and proportion. Some nutrients are stored in the body after meeting all the body requirements, just like fat. So fat is whatever fat is utilized, it gets utilized, and the rest of the things get stored. So now this is also known as optimum or adequate nutrition, which helps to maintain good health. So this is what we call. And the fats or this thing, when it gets stored in our body at the time of emergency, suppose you are not getting your food properly, or you are starving for days, so then these things gets utilized. So this is what we call is good nutrition. And now what is malnutrition? Malnutrition means an undesirable kind of nutrition. Malnutrition is that state of ill health which may caused by the deficiency or excess of one or more essential nutrients in our body. So malnutrition is the bad nutrition basically. So it denies required nutrition to the body, leading to the bad health. Unhealthy environment also causes malnutrition. A malnourished person is physically, mentally, socially, emotionally sick. Okay, so malnutrition can be divided into two types, that is the undernutrition as well as the overnutrition. So what is undernutrition? Undernutrition is that state of nutrition in which the quality and quantity of food is not sufficient for the body and is deficient in one or more nutrients. So in such conditions, health of a person deteriorates. He suffers from many diseases, especially deficiency diseases. Physical and mental growth is also retarded. And the overnutrition, what is this? Just opposite of this undernutrition, that is the overnutrition is the state of the nutrition in which the intake of the nutrients is in excess of our body, what the body needs, okay, and as well as the quantitatively and also qualitatively, causing adverse effects on the body. Just like suppose you are more concerned with this fast foods in outside. So you are consuming this fast food in a lot amount every day. Okay, so that can lead to overnutrition and also can adversely affect your body. So this is what we are different concepts having about this nutrition and the different branches of the nutrition. Okay. So what is the definition of the health by World Health Organization? So go through this definition of the health properly, because if the definition is not correct in a single word, then also the definition will be going wrong if it comes in your examination. So health is the state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of the diseases or infirmity. So the health is not only the absence of this infirmity or any kind of diseases. So if you are if you are not having any kind of disease or if you are not having any infirmity, so that doesn't mean that you are healthy. If you are not physically, mentally or socially, if you are not healthy, then also it denotes that you are not healthy. So that's why it is said that it is the complete state of the physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of the disease or infirmity. So now, according to this definition, a person may not suffer from any kind of disease but still can be unhealthy if he feels tired. So now this health, it has got several dimensions, as you can see in this picture, that the health, it has got physical health. These are the different dimensions. So it has got physical health, mental health, social health, spiritual health. So these are the different dimensions that if you are healthy, then you should be having these dimensions properly. I mean, you should be physically healthy, you should be mentally, socially as well as spiritually, you should be healthy. Now, a person who enjoys the four dimensions of the health, of this health described above is a complete or positive health. A healthy person is an asset to his family, his society and also to the nation, whereas an unhealthy person is a burden. So properly go through this. These are the different dimensions of the health. So now coming on to the next part, we'll see what is balanced diet. We say about diet, but what is this balanced diet is all about? Balanced diet, we all know that from the name itself we can say the diet which is totally balanced with all the factors or the features, then it would be named as balanced diet. So a balanced diet is one which contains different types of food in adequate quantity and right proportion so as to meet the nutritional requirements of our body. So a balanced diet is one which contains different types of foods in adequate quantity. That means with proper quantity and right proportion also, so as to meet the nutritional requirements of our body. So a food which contains, suppose a food I am consuming, it only contains protein, so that will also not do the thing. The food with proper amount of protein, carbohydrate, fats as well as fiber can be a balanced diet. Okay, so a diet is balanced for a person may not be balanced for another one, because the nutritional requirement varies from person to person. For example, a balanced diet for an adult man cannot be same as a child, because their nutritional requirements are different. So now we can say that different factors will be affecting the nutritional requirements of the body, like the age. So what are the different factors which affect the nutritional requirement of the body, like the age, sex, size, composition of the body, climate, occupation, special body conditions like pregnancy, lactation period. So in this every period we get the different nutritional requirement. So ICMR, that is the Indian Council for Medical Research, has worked to provide balanced diet to all groups of the people, which is discussed as in the above, like the daily recommendation of the nutrients for all group of the people and the different food groups. So the ICMR, they created the different food groups which are needed for the different patients or different kind of individuals, and also they have created the different requirement or the daily recommendation of the nutrients for all the group of the people. So coming on to the next thing, that is the as I have mentioned now, that the different these food groups which are being created by the ICMR, that is the Indian Council for Medical Research. So now the food groups, it includes 5 food groups there are. So now in here you can see the 3 food groups. So number 1 is the cereals, roots and tubers. So they have distributed this all the foods into these 5 food groups. So number 1 includes the different cereals, roots and tubers. So they have got the major nutrients as well as the other nutrients which are very minute amount present in those in the foods, in specific foods which are in this food group. Now the cereals includes the rice, wheat, bajra, jowar, corn, chivra, bread. These are the different cereals which mainly contains the carbohydrates, and the other nutrients which are also present are the B complex vitamins irons, calcium, minerals, and vitamin C. And the second one, which includes in this first food group, is the roots and tubers. So in which foods you can find the different roots and tubers, basically the fibers, like the potato, colocasia, sweet potato, yam. So these are the different sources of the first food group. It also contains the carbohydrates as the major nutrient, and the minerals and vitamins as the other nutrients. Now the second one is the pulses, nuts, and oil seeds. So pulses is the first type, which includes moong, masoor, ahar, soybean, like the different kinds of dals, which includes these pulses. It contains protein, which has got the medium quality. Now the other nutrients which are present is the carbohydrates, B complex, vitamins, iron, calcium. These are also present in these pulses. Now it also contains the second type, that is the nuts and oil seeds, like the almonds, cashew nuts, sunflower, mustard. These oil and these oil seeds. It also contains the soybean. It contains a good quality of the protein, and good quality protein and good quality of the fat also. Okay, so the other nutrients which are included in this are the B complex and the calciums. Now moving on to the second type, that is the animal foods. These are the this is the third food group and very important food group, which contains suppose milk and milk products like the milk, curd, paneer, khoa. These things which contains protein which are of good quality. And the second one is the egg, meat, fish, like egg, meat of animals and birds, fish. This also contains the protein of good quality, and it contains vitamins. Other nutrients which are present are the B vitamins, fats like in the meats and fish, vitamin A, calcium. These are present in this third group. Fourth food group is the fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables includes like green leafy vegetables like mustard leaves, amaranth, fenugreek leaves. These are the different green leafy vegetables which contains this carotene. You know, chlorophyll, the present nutrient is there. In there is the carotenes, and the other these nutrients are the calcium, iron, carotene, vitamin C, B complex, fiber. These are the different other nutrients which are present in these green leafy vegetables. And the second one is the red and yellow vegetables. You all know the tomato, carrot, pumpkin, beetroot. These are the different colored like red and yellow vegetables, which also contains this fiber, vitamin, minerals, and fiber. Basically these fruits and vegetables, they contains fiber, vitamins, minerals, as well as these things only. Now the third one on these fruits and vegetables are the fruits. So fruits includes all types of fruits. You can get vitamin C, minerals, fiber from these fruits also. Now coming on to the last food group, that is the fats and sugar. It contains fats like pure ghee, vegetable ghee, butter, oil. These are the different fats includes in this. And the sugars contains the cane sugar, jaggery, brown sugar, honey. These are the different sugars present. Now the fats, they contains mainly energy and gives energy, and the sugars, it contains the energy as well as carbohydrates. So all the essential fatty acids, vitamin A, D, iron, these are the other nutrients which are present in this the last food group, that is the fats and sugar. So fats and sugar should be very less in our food daily food habit, and these cereals, roots, pulses, these should be provided in a larger amount. So now we will be discussing the last part of this chapter, that is the food pyramid. So what is this food pyramid, and what are the different stages of this food pyramid? On to the food pyramid, you can see the food pyramids, they includes these 5 stages. Number at the top of the pyramid, that is at the peak of the food pyramid, it includes the fats and sugar. So why the fats and sugars are at the top of the pyramid? Because it is required very less for our body. Now the second one is the milk products or the meat products. They includes the second part. So it also required for our body, but a little bit more than the fast, that is the fats and sugar. And the medium and after this milk or meat products comes the pulses and legumes. So pulses and legumes contain other different this food group is needed by our body in a little bit more than this previous one, that is milk and meat products. And just before the base, which is required very high for our body, and just before it comes the fruits and vegetables. So we should be consuming fruits and vegetables in a higher amount, because different kinds of minerals or vitamins or fiber, mainly the fruits and vegetables, they contains these, because of which they are the foods gets easily digested, and also it is excreted from our body. So fruits and vegetables comes the before the last stage, and the last one includes the cereal grains and the pulses, which are needed by our body in huge amount. That's why it is kept in the last one, that is, it is the broader one, and at the top you can find the fats and sugar. It is the peak one, which is required very less. So now what does this food pyramid guides us? How they guides us? So it has said that in the food, it should be including at least 1 or 2 servings from each food groups in each meal every day. So in each meal every day you should be having at least 1 or 2 servings from each of this group, which is mentioned here. Make choices within each group as foods within each group are similar in nutritive value. So as they are nutritively value, the nutritive value of the foods are different and also important. So you should be selecting fruits from each group every day. So it should be including uncooked fruits and vegetables in the meat. Okay, it should include at least the meal. It should include at least 1 serving of milk with a minimum 100 grams of milk in any form. So it can be like, if you are having, it can be like by paneer, or you can have curd, yogurt, or suppose the milk also itself. Now carbohydrate, the cereal should not contribute more than 75% of the required energy. So whatever energy required by your body, the cereal should not be giving more than 75%. Now the carbohydrates like sugar, jaggery should not contribute more than 5% of the energy. Now fats should not contribute more than 15% of the total energy. And proportion of the cereal pulses. Now this is the ratio that cereal pulses, the ratio should be found in between 4:1 or to 5:1. So cereal means this 4 and pulses means 1. So this ratio should be maintained, that the cereal pulses ratio should be of this 4:1 to 5:1. So with this we end this very important chapter, which is present in your half yearly. So go through this chapter very minutely, because all the short questions or the MCQ questions, they can come from this chapter. And the next day we are going to revise another chapter which is present in your half yearly. So go through this chapter. If you find any kind of difficulty, you can contact me. So till then, thank you.